Hi, welcome to Elizabeth's Cozy Kitchen. Today is the day after my dad's birthday, and one of the few things my dad and I have in common when it comes to food is that we both like nuts. I think that's the only, and that we both like tomatoes with mayonnaise on it. That's the only thing we like in common. So for his birthday, I wanted to make him a pecan pie. I'm going to be making just a little mini one, just perfect, maybe 2 serving size. I have these little tartlet things that I'm going to be using. But I'm also then going to be using the rest of the recipe. Instead of making a whole pecan pie, I'm going to be making little mini raw nut cups. It's one of my favorite things to make. And so this recipe can be used instead of doing a cooked nut cup recipe. So I'm going to be making the crust and the filling and like little mini nut cups in a little pecan pie. So let's get going. So in this food processor, I have 2 cups of macadamia nuts. This recipe is probably one of the heavier nut recipes that I make. There's going to be a lot of nuts in this one, but not as much coconut oil. I don't know the balance. So I'm putting a teaspoon of salt into my crust. This is going to be my crust. It's a nice light crust, and go ahead and process. And then you want to make sure it doesn't get over processed, but just kind of open it up and see if it presses together. And it needs a little bit long. It's still a little bit too chunky. It's going to form like a dough in the food processor. If you process it too much, too many of the oils come out and it becomes like a kind of a really greasy crust. And you don't want that. This just needs a little bit more. And then literally, if you, maybe you can't see it, literally like a ball has formed and it's going around the food processor. And so that's how I know it's ready. And this is the ball. So we're going to go ahead and put this ball into our crust. And I might need to make, the nut cups use a lot more crust than the pecan pie does. So I might need to make more crust, but we'll see if I have enough just to get through the video. See if I can make his pie without getting hair in it. Of course, normally when I'm in the kitchen, my hair is not down. I jinxed it. Okay, so there's my crust for my little nut cups. Now, for my little mini pecan pie. For the nut cups, I'm going to be using this. I got this from Pampered Chef. I didn't even realize that everyone, my mom is a huge kitchen gadget person just like me, and so I didn't even realize not everyone had this, but you get it from Pampered Chef, and it's literally for making things like this. They fit perfectly in here. That's what it's for. I've never seen it anywhere except Pampered Chef. I'm going to set this right here. So I'm going to take the little ball, put it, make sure you can see as much as you can, even though I know my camera's far away, put it in the center, and I wrap this with plastic wrap. When I'm baking, when I'm actually like baking in the oven, I just dip it in powdered sugar or flour so it doesn't stick. But we don't have those things for raw baking, so I wrap it in plastic wrap so it doesn't stick. And then you just press it down until it comes up on the edges. And see that? So it goes like this. So it pushes up on the edges. And also when you're baking, you don't necessarily need these little cup thingies, but when it's raw, that I find that otherwise they don't really stay together when you pull them out, and this helps a lot. So now you get to watch me do that a bunch of times. And as you can, I'm kind of putting it in a ball a little bit. before I press it down. Perfect. Now how we're going to be making the filling is I made a video just 5 minutes ago about how to make a raw caramel sauce. And for me, a pecan pie has that, it's basically chopped pecans and that sugary sauce, like it's a brown sugar kind of sauce. So how I'm going to be making my pecan pies and my nut cups is I have the caramel recipe in the bowl behind me to my left, and I'm going to just be mixing in chopped pecans into it, and then I'm going to be decorating the top of the pecan pie with some more whole pecans. Now, if you already buy your pecans chopped, you can just, like I did, you're just going to add them straight to the caramel sauce. If your pecan pieces are too big, you're going to want to just send them in the food processor for a little bit and process them to get the right consistency. So I have my pecans, my pecan halves, and my pecan pieces, my little chopped up pecans. As you can see, these pecans are already a good size for me, what I'm looking for in my pecan pie. So the caramel sauce is in the bowl, and I'm just going to stir it up. And also, so when this goes in the fridge, the caramel sauce is going to harden. And so this is what it looks like right now. And if you want to add more or less pecans, I'm going to add a little bit more, depending on, I guess, just how you like it, I guess. And that's the nice thing about raw. You can't mess it up, right? You can mess it up. Okay, so we're just going to press this into our crust. This is the little mini tartlet crust. And I'll put the extra in here. And then I have my pecan halves. And I'm just going to put them around the edge, just kind of decorate as you want. And then when we're done with this, we're going to put it in the fridge to harden, and I will get it to my dad for his birthday. By the way, it's not only his birthday, it's his 70th birthday yesterday. So happy birthday, Dad, even though I know you don't watch my videos. So here we go. And then when this hardens, you'll be, and I can even lift it up just a little bit right now, I'll be able to lift this thing out of the tartlet. The crust will become firm enough to do that, and I can just, it does not need to stay in the shell. So that's what I like about the macadamia nut crust. And these things, I love, this is a perfect little size for a little mini pie. So there's my little mini pecan pie. And then I'm just gonna continue putting in the rest of my little nut cups. And these I'll bring over to my sister's house for Christmas. there we go. And of course, I have a lot more to do, but that's the end of the video. And thank you for joining me. Until next time, manja.